that's VPA money, right? That's my business consultant, my accountant, our attorneys, all that stuff is part of it. And there's some huge checks that had to be written throughout the process. And I think a lot of guys don't understand that. You don't walk in and get a check, right? You have to invest in, you have to get your business at a really good spot to sell it, to be able to sell it. You don't just walk in and like, oh, this is cool, here's my QuickBooks. Doesn't work that way, man. You got to get a lot of smart people to take your stuff and make it presentable so it makes sense to you. Because these guys are all, they don't know public adjusting, right? They're investors. They don't know what a claim looks like. So you have to find people to be able to paint that picture in their language. It's basically, I speak English and they speak Bulgarian, and you got to find a way to translate what you do into Bulgarian. That's difficult, man. That's very difficult. So, they're rewarding.
Difficult but rewarding. The highest form of compensation is communication, right? And a lot of times when when I say that to people, they're like, well, what do you mean? I say, well, even when it comes to building a roof, unfortunately, who's the lowest paid person on that totem pole? It's the person that's driving the nail in the shingle, unfortunately, or however you look at it. And the same can be said, well, who are the highest paid people on that totem pole? The person that actually knocked on that door, the person that's owning the company, the one that's communicating between the subs and the homeowner and the property owner. The way you communicate makes things better. So would you say that's the value that you bring, and is that your role, your ability to communicate?
I think so. I think one thing I'm pretty proud of is I do a lot of stuff on Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram and stuff, and I do it first. I still do that myself, and a lot of guys aren't who they are on Facebook and in real life, and hopefully I take pride in when people meet me, when I'm talking to you, or I'm talking to my kid, or I'm talking at a trade show, or I'm on stage, or I'm doing a podcast or whatever, or I'm on a claim, I'm the same person, or at dinner. I hope to God I come across very authentic and this is who I am, man. And I think that's what translates. A lot of people aren't who they are. And it's a problem in this industry, especially. So being authentic and be able to communicate that authentically and not pull any punches and be smart and let people know what you're all about, man. Don't be afraid to challenge or disagree or ask questions, but do it professionally and cool. Don't go down their throat and say, I don't get it, man. What are you trying to say? And I think that lacks in our industry quite a bit. People always want to be right. And man, come on. I mean, a good manager, a good owner is right 51% of the time. The other 49%, we're learning and listening and absorbing stuff. And I think that's where a lot of people fail. They die on the sword to be right. I'm not like that, man. When this deal was going on, man, I was the dumbest guy in the room, because I've had people going through this their 50th time and their 30th time, and they understand the process. I listened and I learned. And I asked, the attorneys, like, what do you want to do here? I'm like, well, what should I do? What would you do? What's the, you tell me, because I don't know, man. Right. And that's my consultant was involved in that too. Like, you've done this 50 times. What's the right way to go here? How do you position this? And it's all communication. I'm a communication minor from college, and I learned a few things. I wasn't a great student, Rand. I was not a great student in college, but a couple of things I did learn. My communication professor, my junior year, taught me communication's free. It doesn't cost you a nickel to respond to a text, email, phone call, letter. It's free, and we don't take advantage of that. A lot of people, they blow off emails, phone calls, texts. I'm like, come on, man. People are reaching out for a reason. You owe that to them to at least communicate. And if you don't know the answer, that's okay too. I mean, I don't know. I'll find out, right? That's all they want to hear. And I think we shortfall ourselves. That's when people get pissed. They don't communicate, or they don't respond, or they don't do this, or they don't ask questions. They just assume. And man, sometimes you can come across, you can portray something you're saying and be saying it wrong. And next thing you know, you're all pissed off at me because it came out wrong. I misspoke. I'm sorry. Here's what I really meant by that. Communication is a big, big deal. And everything is so fast food now, and you get three sentences to get your blurb out. And and if you mispost something on Facebook, the world comes to an end, right? Everybody's like, oh my God, Come on, man. We all need to be. Let's all give each other a little bit of a break, and let's just be good listeners and be good humans. And it all goes down to communication. And there's nothing wrong with that, man. There's nothing wrong with asking questions or not understanding. None of us are geniuses, bro. We just need to. I don't walk in your shoes. You don't walk in mine, and respect is a big thing. And that comes down to just listening and learning and communicating. 100%. That's a long-winded answer, but yes, communication. So.
Hey, it makes sense. We were talking about communicate. Why not over communicate and to explain what it means?